It is going to be a huge Friday night game, Ross. Richmond v the Western Bulldogs. The Dogs flying versus a Tigers side who's been beaten a couple of times. We're not used to that.
Yeah, it's shocked us. I'm attending. I'm taking the kids and we're going to have a good look at it. Great team.
So am I. And last week, Melbourne beat Richmond. It was a ripper win by Melbourne. And we want to take a look at the handballs, Ross. So they had 226 handballs, the most handballs against Richmond since 2017, and 3 of those games the Tigers lost. So is there something in that?
Well, it shocks me. Yeah. Melbourne hadn't had more than 150. It was a bit wet and greasy, but teams have decided to run at the Tigers' defence. Now, press defence has changed the handball game. Teams went to kicking to keep the pressure off them. So either the defence has got holes in it or Richmond are just half a step off and they're getting through. So you can just see here, it's a really fine line. So if you just off a little bit, you're going to get through. But they can expect the same this weekend because the Bulldogs are the #1 ranked handball team at 184 a game. So they're going to run it. You look at this, they just take you on. So Richmond defence is going to have to be, it's really opportunity for the Dogs or a threat to Richmond. Or conversely, it's a real opportunity for Richmond if they bring the heat. I think their system should be able to deal with it, but they need to bring their best footy. And well, hopefully we'll see some clips of the Richmond pressure at their best.
Just what that handball does to the opposition team. So Richmond have been so good through Vlosten, Grimes and those types of players, being able to read the ball behind the play. But I just want to show what that did on the weekend to Richmond. So look at this. Even Grimes, I'm not used to seeing him get this high, but he's come up on Tom McDonald, who's doing really well. So we watched the surge footy that Richmond are usually so good at, but Melbourne did. So Grimes, he's out of the play there. Then they kick it forward. Suddenly Broad is out of the play. Jackson is there. His man would be Asprey, so he has to come up. So we see another chain of handballs. We let that roll, and suddenly, where they like to set up behind the ball with a long, high kick, Ross, they're out of position and caught out. And I thought this was pretty soft here from Pickett. He had to be stronger, but if you get Pickett on the last line of defence, it's a nice place to be.
Yeah, and I think the big picture is Richmond love to play with a spare defender, but when you run at them, you bypass that defender. So why has Grimes come up? I think the message come out, 45-22. Come up and press and stop the handball chain at the source when typically we cut it off at half-back. I think it was a change of instruction,
Ross,
essentially.
Many weeks ago against Hawthorn, Richmond applied this sort of pressure, and it needs to be like this, doesn't it, if they're to beat the Western Bulldogs?
Yeah, you've got to be red hot. Chase from behind, pressure from the front, and you just saw... But if you're half a step out, you're going to get through. So Damien will be showing the clips. I think he'll reaffirm them. Our system stands up. They'll analyse it, a couple of little tweaks, maybe stop it at the source a bit more, get our pressure right. But they would believe, and is it hunger? Is it personnel? But they would believe their best is good enough to stop a handball game. And I think it is, but they're the best exponent in the AFL of handball change.
I heard Shane Edwards say we are looking forward to being the hunters for once. So they'll go after the Western Bulldogs in this game of football. Ross, we're looking for a weakness in the Western Bulldogs, and could it possibly be in this number here?
Yeah, well, here you go here. One-on-one contests in the air in the Bulldogs' defence. They're 18th. So if you get it there, you can beat them. The problem is it gets there the least in the AFL, only less than 4 times a game. So the challenge is going to be, can Richmond get it there and to one-on-ones? Because we know their roll-off and their system doesn't allow for one-on-ones. But if they can get that Richmond, they will score. So Lynch and Riewoldt are capable.
And it's not getting in there, Ross, because of this. We've taken out Dunkley, who's not playing this week.
Well, it's a 6-headed dragon. You know, you've got Bontempelli, McRae, Liberatore, Hunter, Bailey Smith and Treloar. And that's why the defence gets protected. And that's why I say it's generally the war's won in the midfield battle.
Ross, Luke Beveridge does things his way with selection. He'll drop players. Mitch Wallace was vice-captain. He was out after round 1. Tim English is out. Would you consider Jamarra Ugle-Hagan this week?
Yeah, I would. And I think Shaki as well. He was quoted before the Giants game. I love how West Coast can bank on their 3 tall forwards for 6 to 8 goals a game. They're kicked 42 between them. So he's in bed. That's why Wallace has gone out. Not that he can't kick a goal, but structurally we want the 3 tall. So English has been critical, but #1 pick. He's been in good form the last 2 weeks. I think they go with him, or does it go back to Shaki? But he'll want, if he's true to his word, he'll want the 3 tall forwards, and Richmond will have their hands full.
Yeah, word is they won't bring him in, Ross, but...